and welcome to Triumph Ministries. My name is Ramona Long. I am your host, and along with me are two of my greatest co-hosts on the planet. On my right, Sherry Watts. On my left, Denise Montgomery. And today our subject is going to be, is the dream still alive? And we're going to start that off with...
All right. I thought it'd be best, since we're talking about the dream, we're talking about Martin Luther King's dream, that we start out reading an excerpt. I'm not going to read the entire thing, but everybody is really familiar with it. And I think over time what has happened is we're associating his dream with what we're expecting from America. So I want to take a moment to read what he actually said. Yes. So when we have our conversation, we're able to see if it's his dream or is it my dream that's not being realized. It says here, I say to you today, my friend, even though we face the difficulties of today and tomorrow, I still have a dream. It is a dream deeply rooted in the American dream. I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up, live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. I have a dream that one day on the red hills of Georgia, sons of former slaves and sons of former slave owners will be able to sit down together at the table of brotherhood. I have a dream that one day even the state of Mississippi, a state sweltering with the heat of injustice, sweltering with the heat of oppression, will be transformed into an oasis of freedom and justice. I have a dream that my 4 children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream. I have a dream that one day in Alabama, with its vicious racists, with its governor having his lips dripping with the words of interposition and nullification, one day, right here in Alabama, little black boys and black girls will be able to join hands with little white boys and white girls as sisters and brothers. I have a dream today. I have a dream that one day every valley shall be exalted, every hill and mountain shall be made low. The rough places will be made plain, and the crooked places will be made straight. And all the glory of the Lord shall be revealed, and all flesh shall see it together. This is my hope. This is the faith that I have. I go back to the South with. With this faith that I go back to the South with this faith, we will be able to hew out the mountains of despair, a stone of hope. As I was reading that, I had the opportunity to just look through it, ladies, and the question came, as I said a minute ago, is it that the dream I have for America is is it still alive, or is it his dream? And that's what we're talking about today.
His dream. Well, when I think about his dream, it was for equality.
Right.
When I look back on that, we're not sitting on the back of the bus anymore. We're not sitting on the back of the bus anymore. So I can't say that we haven't made any progress. Okay, of course, we're not living through a lot of the injustices that he had to. But when you think about it, is it any better? Is it any better?
My thing is, I think that the dream is contained now. It went to a certain level, and then all of a sudden it just sort of kind of died out. And I say that because I grew up in a town that was predominantly white. Blacks were not appreciated. And the school I went to, I mean, I saw so many things. I've been called so many names. I didn't even know my name was Ramona until until I got in high school. But I just know there has been a difference. Yeah, we can sit in the front of the bus and all those things, but there's still a lot of closet things that are coming out of the closet now, and I don't even want to go there. Why that is? Why I believe that it is? It's just right now it seems like we're going backwards a little bit, and it's not because of it's fueled by people that are in high places, and their views are getting to be more pronounced.
Yes.
Pronounced.
Exactly what it
They're not ashamed to say what's on their mind anymore. Where before everybody was sort of in a closet with that, but now you're hearing things that I heard when I was coming up. And it really bothers me because I just feel like, and what's happening is those people also have children that are coming up. And if they're coming up with those same views,
right, absolutely,
it's going to start all over again. and maybe on a higher or worse level than it was before.
Okay, Mona, when I think about it, Sherry and I are both school teachers. Okay, half of my students don't know Dr. King's dream. And I'm sorry, but I can't agree with that. You have to instill that in your kids.
Yes, you do.
You have to tell them, ain't nobody gonna give you nothing.
Hello, tell the world.
Okay, ain't nobody gonna I'm not gonna stand on the corner, ain't nobody go, woo, it's gonna fall out of heaven. And no, you gotta work. You gotta educate yourself. I have kids right now that have no idea, ain't thinking about going to college, don't wanna go to college. Okay, no matter how much you tell them. So we have to put that, my thing is, what are we doing to help to move the dream alive? We don't have to sit on the back of the bus. We can sit anywhere, we can shop anywhere, but we're still asking for handouts.
Well, when she was talking a minute ago, the thing that I think the difference is you see the generation difference in us. Ramona's talking more about a change of heart.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't care what kind of speech you give.
Yes.
Jesus gave the greatest speech.
Yes.
66. He left us a 66 book.
Yeah.
And it's all about the heart. Every chapter is about the heart.
Yes.
To me, that's a personal decision. And she's right. All the things that she's mentioned coming from the heart. From out of the mouth flows the issues of the heart.
Yes.
But when I'm looking at actually our question on the table is his dream. And I'm looking at his dream, and most of his dream, is it all come true? Some of it is eternity.
Yes.
And it's basically heart issues, but it's about equity. And yes, do we have equity?
Yes, we do.
Equity is not, justice is not like everybody get the same thing at all the time. No. But it's equity available. That's what you're saying.
Yes.
That is.
It is.
Is equity
it is definitely
available?
If you want to be whatever you decide you want to be, the opportunity is there. If you want to go to college, it's there. If you don't want to go to college, then go to a trade school. Everything is there. So in that respect, his dream has come. There's no college that you can't apply to. You may not get in. But, okay. But it doesn't
and
stop,
that's what she's saying about the heart. It goes back to the heart. Yes, we have those in high places. We wrestle not against flesh and blood, but principalities in high places. Yes, those in high places are spewing out a lot of evil and it's spewing out a lot of negative and division. We know that. But it goes back to the heart. Where is it landing? We've learned, and most of us, I know from my generation, and my son, of course, he's in his 30s, we've learned to put up that shield of righteousness, meaning that it's going to bounce right back on you. Because it's going to come out of your mouth.
I'm sorry.
Because like when they send evil stuff to you, you don't have to absorb it.
Okay, that's true. Yes.
And see, what's happened is a lot of people are absorbing this negative. When I say absorbing, it's like, oh, that must be true, and I'll go sit down. But what happens now is they throw it back. How you throwing it back? They're in the streets marching. They're making it known. And they have these cell phones. Boy, oh gosh, I wish I had my cell phone sometime. They will cell phone you and put you on social media and blast you until your employer said, I can't even, you're such a liability, I can't even keep you anymore. See, that's what I mean about bouncing back. Back then, bouncing back was you marched in the street, you got beat and you got whipped and you were ostracized and they put dogs on you.
Yes.
They did all this stuff. Bouncing back now for us is we pull out the cell phone and make them deal with their own stuff. Look in the mirror. This is what you look like.
And when you say, thank God that's not happening anymore, it's the reason that is, I believe, in other words, the kids that are raised up now, they don't have the fight in them that they did back in the day.
Oh, God, no.
If you're saying, okay, they're not in college, why? Because it's not their priority. Right now it's being an athlete, entertainer, making quick, fast money. Education is low on the totem pole. You understand what I'm saying? So in that sense, his dream is not being fulfilled. He wants us to come together as a nation of people, holding hands, kumbaya, I love you, you love me. That does not happen very often. It really does not. And it's because people don't have that fight in them like they did before. See, we never had to struggle like they did back in the day.
Right.
That's true.
And so when you have to struggle, you're going to fight for a change. You're going to fight like they did back then. They dealt with the dogs, they dealt with the hoses and all that kind of. I can't even see anyone in this day and time going through that. You understand? And just I just can't see it.
Do you really? I'm so glad that they didn't. I'm so glad that our forefathers did that, so my kid wouldn't have to do that.
But your kid does need to do it now because it like we're going backwards. I see us going backwards.
You
may
want
be
us
wrong.
to be militant?
No, not so much militant, but I mean, we don't. I don't think we stand up enough for ourselves. I really don't. I mean, when I was in high school, I always said I went predominantly white school, and I loved that school. I'm gonna tell you why. Because even the kids that did not like colored people at that time, they had enough sense to tell me it's because we never lived near colored people. My mom didn't talk about us except in a negative way. We don't want to be this way, so now we want to ask you about you. So you can enlighten us on who you are and the things that bother you so that we don't try to insult you or whatever. But kids don't do that nowadays. They don't do that.
Well, it's not, I guess you're right, they don't do it anymore because I'm not going to say it's not necessary, but it's not at the forefront because we're stuck together in schools. We're stuck together at the store. So we're learning to be culturally aware. As I can't remember, I think it's Dallas, your school district. They're doing a big deal this summer. The administrators are going through it now. It was on the news to be more culturally aware. Because it's not no more. We're not just a melting pot. A melting pot, we get together and everybody come out the same. No, we're a patchwork quilt. Meaning we're taking the best from each culture and making it work for the American, because no longer does everybody want to do it one way. That's a melting pot. But we're a quilt. And so what Dallas is doing is they're having their administrators, and then it's going to trickle down to the teachers, and eventually the teachers are going to learn how to be a patchwork quilt. Whereas I take, like you were saying, the stuff in your culture, get to know you. Let's talk about this.
Because we don't
It's like
know each other.
Starbucks, they shut it down after they had the issue. And so to me, equity is what he's asking us for. He's not asking us so much, we need unity, yes. But let's be honest. Black folk, we're not all that unified.
Right.
So we can't expect we don't like holding each other's hand too long.
Right.
So let's just be honest. But what he's saying is have the door of opportunity open for everybody.
Yes.
And I see that door. It's not all the way open, but it's open more than it was in '63 when he wrote this.
Okay, now I totally agree with that. The opportunities that he had in his day, we didn't have. My mother didn't have.
Right.
But we do have opportunities. You can go to school, like you said, if you want to. If you want the job, you can get it. But my problem is they don't want it.
I don't know how to. You know, Mother says you can lead a horse to the water, but you can't make him drink.
That's right.
I think our responsibility is to let people know the opportunities are there. And that's what this show is all about. Letting people know these opportunities available to you. You got to do it. You have to get out there and get on your grind. You have to hustle. Because nothing's going to come easy.
And I look at that, Sherry, but when I look at that, I see other nations surpassing us in education.
Right?
So, they're surpassing us in technology.
Right?
I know his dream was not for the kids to be dumb. That was not his dream. So I'm saying is, we have so much available to us now, but it's like our kids are not taking advantage of it. Everything
that's what you're saying.
And I'm going to tell you
why.
Because the kids' parents are just almost as young as the kids. So they can't teach them what they don't know. So
we got to do a show on that then.
Oh, absolutely. The babies are having babies. The grandmothers are getting younger, and so therefore, that's what's happening. We're imploding on ourselves because we don't have the wherewithal to get out and try to learn about life. And the parents would let the kids, okay, you're going to school. Your teacher will teach you what to do. Well, the teacher can't do but so much because you're in there acting up. You understand what I'm saying? We don't appreciate the life that we have right now. We don't appreciate the freedoms that we have.
Okay, I agree. Now, I think we all can agree to an extent that they're not being appreciated, but it's not just African-American culture.
Right, it's not.
The opportunities are there, and it's just a limited amount of people that appreciates those opportunities, and not only appreciate, they capitalize on it. And then we sit back and whine and complain why are they advancing or why this culture is doing better. That's because they saw the opportunity. They capitalized on it. I always, I'm not a member of the Potter's House, but I always applaud Bishop. He is maximizing his moment.
Yes,
he is squeezing everything he can get out of that moment. And others sit back and they complain. They'll start out doing the hard stuff and, this is too hard. And they'll quit, but he just keeps trudging through because that's what you do in America. That's what you do anywhere. Anything you want, You know,
that's what I'm saying.
I'm in my 50s and just now trying to get
Yeah.
this doctorate because I've been wanted. I just have to go after.
Right.
But life is gonna give
That's
you
it.
hurdles.
And that's what I'm thinking Dr. King meant is
Yes.
he didn't expect
Push
it to
forward.
be easy, but we just you gotta work for it.
Right.
He never let he went through what he went through. But I think that was his legacy. He's trying to let the kids know, he's trying to let us know life is not easy, but you gotta push through. God is gonna be your help.
Right.
God
And
is
notice
your
in
help.
here
But
he
you know
says
what?
we ain't gonna be satisfied. We can't be
We can't be
satisfied.
satisfied.
Somehow
But-
we've gotten satisfied.
And,
Okay.
and it is hard for me to, this man was assassinated. You understand what I'm saying? So he got assassinated in the height of his prime, in the height of telling us how we need to love one another and all that. He
Yes.
was assassinated. And so that tells you that to me, that was just a show to say, nobody care about all that. That scares me. You understand what I'm saying? Because people are more violent now than they've ever been.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, they are.
More violent now than they have ever been. And so to me, that dream has stagnated because of all the stuff that's going on right now in this world.
What can we do to push it?
Yep.
It needs to be pushed.
Well,
Okay.
first of all, we got to get up off our butts and stop acting like that's somebody else's problem.
Right.
Because you got
Okay.
kids coming up. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Right.
you got to show them some wherewithal so that they would have that. And know when they go to school, they don't go there acting like thugs and criminals and all that kind of stuff. Why are they doing that? That's what I'm talking about. This dream is not what he wanted, and it's dying out to me because these kids are coming to school. They're acting like criminals. They're listening to rappers. They're coming up all tatted up and dreadlocked all down to the waist. Pants sagging down. There's a problem here. There's a problem here. And if Martin Luther King was alive today, he'd be flipping over in his grave because it looks like we're going backwards instead of forwards. Now, that's just
But
my
Mona,
opinion.
That's a general statement. We keep saying they and them and he. Okay, if we could help just one child.
That's what I'm sitting here thinking. I have
yeah,
161 kids.
Okay.
I only have 5 that I can truly say
There you
don't
go.
want it. Do you hear what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's over a
There you go.
90% rate of kids
Right.
that want somebody to push me, want somebody to tell me how to do this. I sat a girl down, 2 kids down because they sent me an email. They meant to request that I give them more time to do their work, but I don't know if it was a passion or what, but they were demanding. And I sat them down and I shared with them, this is demanding. And if you're sending this to someone in authority that you're asking them to do something for you because of this, they will tell you no. I said, because I know your heart. I'm saying, Ms. Watts, thank you. These kids have not been taught. So
That's
out of
it.
161,
Right.
I only have 5 that I know that do not want it, whatever. But that gives me that's over 150 kids that's saying, can somebody help me? Can somebody push me? Can somebody show me the way? They're not going to get it at home. That's the parent. The parent is doing the best
But
they
okay,
can.
but what can we do to help the parents? We keep saying the parents can't. The parents don't know.
It's
but
to the
what,
point
But
that
are
we-
we,
you're
what,
right.
what
about
are we
it?
doing?
The parents
to
don't
help?
know. They've got social media, they got
Okay.
television, they
But
got
Mona,
this, they
They
got
don't
books.
Okay, Mona,
They
you at
don't
home. You got 3 or 4 kids. Okay, you're doing the best. You're a single parent. You're doing the
Right.
best you can. You're keeping a roof over your kids' head. You're keeping food in their mouth. Okay, you're doing the best you can.
That's exactly what I hear
Okay,
when I talk to them.
and so I'm not blaming any parents. Please don't think that I'm not, because they are doing the best they can. But I'm just saying it's got to be. It's got to come. I know it's not going to just fall out the sky, but I'm saying. We keep saying the parents don't know. No, they don't know.
They do not.
How do we help them to know, though?
But why don't they know? Why
Because
don't they
Because
know?
nobody told them.
What?
Nobody
you
told
can't.
them.
You got computers.
Mona,
You
we
got.
don't have Big Mama no more.
But you got
Big Mama
computers,
and,
you got
and
books.
so and so. We don't have
And
that
you saying
anymore.
computer, they don't even have internet.
No.
At my
They
school,
don't
most
have-
of the kids
thank
don't
you.
have internet.
They don't have
access.
internet at
Oh
home.
my
They don't have
God.
internet
So
access.
what you're saying is this is we're at a stalemate because I don't see.
No,
Okay.
what I'm saying is, as Denise's passion is the homeless, my passion is these people. So I spend my time trying to train these children, and they go
Yes.
home and tell their parent, I get a thank you note. But just think, I only get to do that to maybe 5 or 10 kids because I'm a human as well. I have the same amount of hours as everyone else. But the point is, there has to be a place and a time
Yes.
that this can be taught without a cost.
Yes, that's
Who's
it.
gonna
That's
come up with
it.
that? Because when they
Right.
have those places that's teaching these things that doesn't cost, these parents show up.
They will.
Yeah.
But when we tell them it's a $5 cover, they
They
say
can't come.
They're like $5 cover, $5 for these eggs and bacon.
There
and
you
feed
go.
My, you
There
know
you
what?
go.
I'm just gonna.
I got
be
to feed
ignorant.
my
I'm just
child.
gonna be
Okay,
That's it.
and what you just gave me was a scenario that is very depressing.
Why?
Because I don't see any end. I don't see any end to that.
It's not gonna be an end. I don't think
It's not
ever
an
be
end.
an end.
We just
but
wanna-
gonna
we wanna
gonna
help.
We're gonna put a dent in the bucket. How about
We
that?
don't. I'm tired of giving a handout.
Yeah.
Let's give a hand up.
'Cause that's what they did with
They
my
need a
mom.
hand up.
But you're teachers, and you all see kids that probably should be. I don't even want to go there. But you see children act out in ways. Where does that come from? That if,
They don't know.
If
They don't know.
Martin
They
Luther
don't know.
King's dream was still alive, there should have been. I just, and maybe I'm just. I don't know. I just see there's got to be some changes somewhere.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, you know,
and we've made small changes, as you're saying. We're making small changes, but the big change that you want, where it'll just. I'm trying to be nice as I can, but you know how when I was way too fat, and when I first lost the first 20 pounds, nobody really noticed. Then I lost the 30 pounds, nobody really noticed. But when I lost that 75 pounds,
Okay.
girl, you losing weight. And
Yeah.
all that whole year, I'm like, I've been losing weight all this
There
time.
you go.
Nobody, I think that's where we are.
Yes.
We're at a point, he did it in 63 and it's 2000 and whatever year we're in now.
2018.
We're making progress.
We are.
We're making progress
are.
because we're able to sit here and talk about it.
And listen to what she said. She just said the districts have realized that they need to do cultural awareness.
And companies are
Okay,
doing more
companies are doing
Yeah.
it.
cultural
So
awareness.
it's
Well,
not that the
but
ball is not turning, but the ball is just
But
turning
they're
so
doing
slow.
cultural awareness because somebody came in the store, some black person walked in Starbucks.
Thank you.
And,
And you're doing it.
And
That's
they
how the ball
didn't get
gets going.
served.
That's how
Some
it gets
black
going.
woman
That's right.
said, these men need to go. They're just loitering around. And that's the reason why all this cultural stuff took place.
Good.
If it didn't happen, they would
Good.
still be in the same place
If-
out in the
But
street
Mona,
from
it was-
Starbucks.
But
I'm
Mona,
sorry.
it was in God's plan.
Yeah, because
that it happened.
And if
because
Martin
that's
Luther
how
King
it
didn't go to jail, he would have said,
But listen, if the dogs and the water and all the stuff they laid on them people back then didn't work, what you think a cultural awareness
we
is going
have
to do?
hope.
What do you
I
think?
know it was he mentioned hope in there,
Yes,
right?
he said hope.
He had hope.
And
we
we're
have to
still
keep hope
hoping
alive.
in
We gonna keep hope
2019.
alive.
We're still hoping.
You know, but-
in 2019.
But we
Yeah, I'm
we
gonna be
cannot.
open till I die.
That's it.
I
We
just
cannot
believe
be
it's gonna
people
be a change.
with no hope.
Because
We have
otherwise,
to hope.
I would be miserable as Paul said.
Because right now I'm afraid to walk out this door.
Why?
I don't know who's watching me.
There are so many people have your opinion, your thoughts. They have
Yeah.
your mindset.
Yes.
That's why I think this is a good show because it's time for us to just really look at it. Is it his dream or is it ours? And
Yes.
a lot of time it comes down to it's things that I expect that's not happening. And because they're not happening, I'm getting frustrated. I want to give up. But this here is, you see, this is my passion. My
That's
passion
it.
is I see a generation of kids and I see a generation of adults. I just absolutely just want to come up and just hug them and say, baby, you're doing the best you can.
That's it.
What can I do to help you?
And when the parents come up to the school, I don't care if you ain't doing nothing. I'm gonna tell you,
You did
baby,
something.
you're doing such a wonderful job with this baby. Thank you so much for coming up here.
And I tell them,
it's
thank you for
probably
letting
not
me
even her
serve you.
kids.
How can
Yes.
I serve you?
But you know, even if you just reach one,
Yeah.
you just if you
I
could just
understand.
reach one, you know, your living is not in vain.
Yes.
And God,
All
you know,
right.
God gets the glory out of it.
Okay, baby.
So you know, it is getting better.
It is.
You know,
I see it getting
it's-
better.
it's
I see
getting
our
better.
kids because they're responding quicker. Parents are like, when they find out that you are not there, because
You're not
look,
the enemy.
They
Yes.
know where they're falling short.
Yes, they
Nobody
know.
have to tell me where I'm falling short. I already know my mouth is just too big sometimes. You don't have to tell me that, but tell me when I do something right, and I'm going to keep doing that thing over and over until I get it right.
Well, I thank you, ladies, for your
time.
passion. We're going to have to. Well, I just am not there yet. I don't know why, and maybe because you weren't going to school
You're
when
not
I was
gonna
going to
ever be
school.
there.
When my name was Sapphire, and
No.
and they told me I looked like the woman on the syrup, Aunt Jemima. That's why my name was Aunt Jemima and all that kind of stuff. So you didn't deal with
Well,
that kind
yes,
of
I
stuff.
did.
But see, we have
Yes,
the,
I did.
she
Did
did,
you?
and
I
have
did.
the flip side of it. Denise had the side where it's I just cannot identify. You can tell your story because that.
I
that
mean,
story
I
just
got
gets-
on the. I was in
can't
the
even
7th grade.
identify with that.
I was in the 7th grade. I got on the bus one morning, and it was all the kids. We all get, and it was an older white woman sitting on the seat, and the only seat left on the bus was hers. So I just said, excuse me, ma'am, and I sit down. And she just went off on me. She's so tired of these ends getting on the bus or whatever. And it was one old white man. He made a room over there. But I'm sitting up and said, I'm in 7th grade. What did I do to you?
Not a
Right.
thing.
You know,
You came in there black.
I came and got on the bus black. I've been riding the bus for months. So I'm saying, why did that bother her? You know what I'm saying? And I didn't let it bother me when she got on the bus the next day and she set her tail up there at the front like she should have. But okay.
But this is still happening now. It's
but,
still happening now.
It really is.
But Mona, I could have just went off on her. But, you know, my mama taught me better than that. I just sit down and I said, oh, okay. And my friends turned around and said, okay, girl, it's okay. So I can't, yes, that's still happening today.
Well,
now.
when people used to say that to me, when I was walking down the street and they'd say, hey, Aunt Jemima, I would look back like, who are they talking to? And that's how I handled that. That's how I got through that. I would not, like mine, it's not Maya Angelou. It's not what they call you, it's what you answer to.
Right.
And I believe that, and that's the way I live my life.
Now, Dr. King says it this way: let us not seek to satisfy our thirst for freedom by drinking from the cup of bitterness and hatred.
Yes.
He also goes
Yes.
on and
What are you trying
says
to say?
exactly what I'm trying to say.
Say.
He also tells us to not, he says, as they help the Negro community, but not lead us to distrust all white people.
Yes.
For
Oh, I
many of
don't.
our white brothers, as evidenced by their presence here today, have come to realize that their destiny is tied up with our destiny. So
Well,
that's
eventually,
it.
as I said in the beginning, it's not a melting pot,
It's a quilt. And every batch of apples gonna have
Well,
one bad one in it.
But
you
every
can't-
bad.
But
you
don't get me
can't.
wrong
No.
now. I have the most wonderful white friends that I grew up with in that redneck school. They're still in my life together. They are still in my life today, and I love them. I have never been a person I've never been a racist. I've never been, your color means nothing to me. I don't see
Right.
color. I see people. That's all I see. I love the whole entire planet. And I'm going to tell you why. Because God put all of us up here. We're a big
Yes.
melting
Right.
pot of wonderful cultures and things that I would
Yes,
just love to
just
be able to learn.
beauty.
So just let me, you see this face, honey? Don't use me as a target. Okay? I'm good. But okay, so we're going to wrap this up. And I thank everyone. I hope that you've learned something. And check us out on social media because that's where we're at. We're going to be on
Don't
social
send
media.
any comments, 'cause
send-
she's not gonna
no,
respond.
Don't worry about all that. I love you. I love you. Believe me, I do. So anyway, we'll look forward to the coming show. But check us out on social media. Give us some feedback. We want to know what you think. And
Thank you.
And make sure it's kind of nice. We love you. Have a wonderful day.
Have a blessed day.